Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andrew Stotts and I'm the Empire of Stomaria. Today I want to give a progress report for Southwood, a Stomarian province. Now for this particular video I have started a little bit further back than I have normally, and that's because I wanted to quickly highlight what we've done here with the signage on this gate. So as you can see, or potentially see, a lot of the signs that were here have been taken down. Some of them were deteriorated and it wasn't very inviting, it wasn't very welcoming, and so I have reduced the number of signs on these gates just to highlight that it is obviously private property, there's no public right of way, and of course there is CCTV cameras in operation here. But aside from that, I didn't think it was necessary to have too much in the way of a deterrence for the signage. So we have reduced the number of signs on here just to make it a little bit more welcoming. As you can see, the gravel that was laid has come up right up to here now, so that's all been laid and that's all still been very well established. We put this down about a month ago. As I record this is actually about a month after the Imperial Summit was held, so it's good to see that it's all been relatively maintained. I was a bit worried it was going to get churned up by a lot of the access issues that we've had, in the sense that when we have vehicles driving on the gravel here, it has had a tendency of churning up the land, but I am pleased to say that it has firmed up in quite a significant way. So it has resolved the immediate issue that we've had, which is mud. Now we do have the catering trailer here still. That's yet to find a more permanent home. It's a Weywoodian venture as opposed to anything to do with Stomaria, but obviously Southwood and the access here is heavily utilised by the Weywoodian community for various vents and access and all the rest of it. I mean, I've never actually used this myself to park my vehicle on. I always park out there on the drive, or the road out there rather, but I've never actually used this to park my own vehicle on. Now, as we wander down through this newly gravelled drive, we have the flags flying in the breeze. You will have to excuse any mess that you might come into. We have been doing a few bits a day, and it's not been tidied for this particular update. I just wanted to quickly run through what has happened and what is going to be happening, and what is the plan, which has literally just been put into place in the last couple of hours as to what we're going to be doing with the land going forward, which is an exciting development. I might touch on that a little bit, but before I do that, I just wanted to highlight just how fantastic the rhubarb is doing. As you can see, every time I come here, it just grows that little bit larger, becomes that much more full, and even though that we're not actually harvesting it this year, because we're going to be leaving the rhubarb to fully establish this year, and then next year we'll begin to harvest it because it'll be a lot healthier and it will become even more trying to think the right word now, bushier, I suppose. There'll be a lot more stems on it, at least that's the theory. And so we're going to be doing that. We're going to be leaving it this year and then waiting till next year to harvest it. Now the raspberries, I'm pleased to say, are finally bearing a little bit of fruit. So as you can see, they've bushed up to these quite massive plants. Let me just open the gates here just so we can get a full picture, if it will let me. There we go. So you can see these raspberry plants have grown to quite an extraordinary size, certainly bigger than anything we've planted before. And you might have already seen, we have at last a few raspberries. Now Raoul has already tested one of them, and it is apparently quite delicious. So he is currently eating about 25% of the produce from the raspberry plants as things stand, but we are hoping for a lot more. There are also some blueberry bushes in here, down in there, as well as some strawberry plants at the back there, which have borne a little bit of fruit, but they're not ripe yet. As I say, it's the rhubarb which is obviously the mainstay at the moment and has done very, very well, or some of it has done very, very well. We also have the grapevine, which again has come back, and it's great to see. Hopefully we will get a few grapes this year, but that remains to be seen. This was planted last year and it did fully establish itself, obviously died back, and now it's come back again. So again, great to see. And look at some of this rhubarb, it's just absolutely fantastic. Nice thick stalks, ready for harvesting as and when. But as I say, unfortunately, we are going to try to resist the urge to harvest it this year, just to give it a good fighting chance of surviving long into the future, because these are obviously perennial plants, so they will keep growing back for 10, 15, maybe even 20 years. We can split the crowns to make them last even longer, but hopefully it'll just keep on growing, and we'll provide a healthy supply of rhubarb for Stomaria for many decades to come. Now, the clover has now fully established. I don't concern myself with walking on it at all. It is nice and thick and has covered the entirety, or virtually the entirety, of Southwood. It is fantastic to see. As you can see, all of this clover, this lot here is a lot more shaded, so it's not growing as quickly, and it was planted a lot later, but even so, it is still taking, and it is great to see. And then we obviously have the compost bins, as always, doing their thing. Have the solar panels generating energy as per usual. And just while I think about it, Wayward, I'm not going to ruin too much, so I'll probably release this a little bit later. But Wayward are going to be putting up some bird and bat boxes as a part of their ecological push for the land. And so that's what these are here for. And this lemon barn here has been harvested from Wayward South and has been provided to Stomaria. So I'll be taking this home, and Empress Samantha will be utilising this lemon balm, and it's going to be a case of purchasing this from Wayward in exchange for a few staters, and that's going to be one of the exchanges that we have taken place, one of the many exchanges that have taken place between Stomaria and Wayward. Now, we also have quite some exciting development, because all of this land has also now been seeded with clover, and you can start to see it all coming up now. And eventually all of this will be as lush and as green as it is up there, and so it's just going to be an ocean of green at the land, and it's going to be a truly magnificent sight. It really is going to be very exciting to see all this grow and develop. Now, we also intend to get rid of the remaining livestock at the land here. So these ducks are going to be taken away, or gifted or sold or whatever else, and this chicken pen is going to come down, and behind there is actually like a throne area. I don't know if I've actually highlighted the throne area, so I'll quickly show that off. So this little throne area is also going to be decommissioned, and the reason for that I am going to discuss in a later video, but it is to do with some very exciting developments at the land, in which we are going to be establishing Stomarian and Waywoodian tourist industry, and a part of that is going to require us to do some more work to the land to prepare it for this eventual plan of ours. And I'm trying my best not to spoil the surprise as to what that's going to entail, so I won't discuss it too much more than that. But all of these logs here, these are all going to be relocated, and all of the debris, the storage area at the back there, that's all going to get cleared out, and the logs are going to be moved there instead. Because, as I say, we have some big plans which are going to help to take Stomaria and Wayward to the next level, and I'm very excited about that potential development, about the prospects of being able to generate significant amount of revenue, comparatively speaking, for Stomaria and for Wayward, because ultimately that's what it's about for us. It's about raising as much capital as humanly possible in a short space of time in order to push our aspirations to all-time highs, to be able to acquire that additional territory, to be able to develop that territory in order to advance our shared goals. And so that, broadly speaking, is what I wanted to discuss today, because we haven't actually done too much since the Imperial Summit. I've not been back since the Imperial Summit, and so I just wanted to quickly highlight what the land is doing, what it looks like, for this particular June update, because as you can see, everything is growing even larger, even healthier, things are moving forward, and as always, Stomaria, Wayward, and Vesta, who's going through their own developments and have their own updates, and something I will be sharing in due course. We're all pushing forward with our shared vision, with our shared values, with our shared objectives, and I look forward to being able to report on all of these before too long. If you want to learn more about Stomaria or play an active role in our development and expansion, visit our website at www.stomaria.com and find out what it means to be a Stomarian.